Horror. Wait, no, this isn't. Hold on, let me change this. That's better. Anyway, horror. Horror is, well, actually, I don't know. Hold on, let me get Webster's over here. I think we both understand how horror works now. You already know the drill. Scary stuff. Horror is a simple concept, a video game or movie or TV show or anything that just tries to scare you. Sometimes it makes things jump in your face, and sometimes it tries to infiltrate your mind, the latter of which is a way better method. I'm sorry, jump scares aren't scary. If something suddenly gets put in your face with a loud noise, you're bound to jump at it. Most of the time, if you try to jump someone in real life, it's not going to go too well. Don't do that in the middle of the street. Oh, you got me. Nice job. Nice stuff. Oh.
I will annihilate you.
The funny thing about jump scares is really the only thing they have going for them that makes them scary is when they don't happen, because then your mind wanders and you wonder when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen at all. And that's what I was talking about, infiltrating your mind. You're constantly thinking, what if something can happen? What if something will happen? When nothing's actually happening in that moment. But I've been rambling on too much. Let's get into some actual examples so I can show you more about it. Now I know what you're thinking. I just mocked jump scares for a good maybe 30 seconds, and now I'm talking about a game as an example that literally has jump scare in the title? Well, first of all, you just want to mock everybody, don't you? You loser. You absolute buffoon. I'll annihilate you too. But second of all, there was one part of this game that actually really stuck out to me because it actually made me a little tense. This moment in the game happens in the Dollhouse DLC. Bet you couldn't see this coming, but it takes place in a dollhouse. I mean, of sorts. There's zombie dolls, worm doll, hook doll. Anyway, during the DLC, you fall through the floor and end up in the cellar. It's dark, it's got red walls, and frankly, it looks like somebody's been smoking down here and the smoke's been encapsulated for who knows how long. To be perfectly honest, this whole area is pretty effective. It's dark, and you're constantly wondering if something is just gonna pop out of the darkness. Luckily, for anybody who's afraid of that, nothing happens. That is, until you're just walking through the halls trying to find pieces of a pinwheel to open a door, and suddenly at the end of the hall, you just see that. Now let me ask you this question. If you see a life-size doll hooked up to the wall in the middle of a basement, what are you going to do? Well, this is a horror game, and guess what? There happens to be an item on it, and you have to take it off. Well, let's just get it over with. So naturally, you press the option expecting it to chase you, and nothing. It just sits there. At first I was like, okay, maybe when I leave the room it's gonna start chasing me, but no, it doesn't. In fact, that's it. Throughout the rest of your time in the cellar, all you gotta do is find the rest of the pieces if you haven't already and just leave. But it can't be that easy, can it? Yeah, you're right. So after you've gone to the cellar, or maybe even before, you notice this whole summoning circle, pentagram looking thing, and it happens to be missing 3 candles, 3 black candles. What's something that you happen to see in your time in the cellar as well? The black candles. So you get the idea, you have to go back down there. And upon just entering the cellar, a new ambient sound that didn't play before is now playing, and just that is something to make you feel more nervous. Now I know this thing isn't that scary, but yeah, I hated this place. She levitates towards you if you look at her, so you gotta make sure to look down as much as possible, which is kind of difficult when you have to find stuff, especially the candles, which are normally on tables, but they can be on the ground too. So as I already said, your main goal is to just try not to look at her, which is very difficult because, you know, she will teleport around to make sure you can look at her as much as possible. You know, like mobile game ads. Play my game! Play it now! Play it now! The hook doll herself isn't really that scary. That's not what this is all about. This whole sequence that I'm doing right now is sort of just about the atmosphere it has. The dark basement. And the first time you're down here, the fact that nothing chases you at all just works. You know, you're constantly wondering if something is going to happen. And then when you figure out you have to go back down there, you're really nervous about it because then you wonder, is that thing going to be chasing me? But you get the idea. Atmosphere. Getting into a player's head. That's the idea. Anyway, I'm done with spookies now. Sorry, Hook Doll, your services are no longer needed. Goodbye, Hook Doll. I won't miss you, actually. You know what, just screw you. By the way, I don't want it to seem like I'm praising this as if it's the best use of this kind of horror. A lot of other games use this too, and frankly, a lot of them probably do it better. This moment just stuck out to me, and I thought it was one that people could easily see versus, other ones. Plus, this one is way easier to describe, and I don't want to go into detail about something that would take way too long, which I hope is understandable. With that said, let's get into some other games.
On 3, 1, 2! Was that the bite of 87?
Yeah, that's right. Let's just get out of the way. Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is a horror game originally released in 2015 by Scott Cawthon. The game is a simple concept. You are playing as a night guard, and your goal is to make sure that the animatronics can't get to your office so that they can't stuff you in an animatronic suit, which will 100% kill you. Listen, I don't like FNAF. I only wanted to talk about it because it's popular, and frankly, I really wanted to make the Markiplier joke. The only thing FNAF really is going for is in the original games where, yeah, there's this big anticipation for the jump scares, but after you get good at the game and you try more of the challenging nights, then you just get so used to them that you're just more frustrated at them than scared. And at the end of the day, they're still jump scares, so you're not even scared of them, you're just jumping at a loud noise. But I didn't just bring up FNAF to make fun of it. One, I'll say that I actually do really enjoy the environments, even in Security Breach. It has some pretty cool places. Now, I'm not going to talk about how much I hate Security Breach. I could go on for an hour probably about how much I absolutely hate that game. But yeah, instead I'm going to sort of use that as an introduction to, where I think horror is going. There are still a lot of good horror games that are being put out there. I just want to talk about the genre in general and how it's being used, like how things are labeled as horror games. With that said, I expect some hate for this one. Let's just get it out of the way. Dandy's World. Dandy's World's an okay Roblox game. I've played it once or twice. It's not the worst thing ever. It can kind of be fun if you're playing with people who really enjoy it. But the main problem with the game is that it's labeled as a horror game. You can't be scared of this. I'm sorry. The game really isn't scary, but that's just the problem. It's labeled as a horror game. Everybody talks about it like it's a horror game. It's not a horror game. You're being chased by cutesy cartoon characters. Granted, a lot of games do that, but most horror, quote-unquote, games at least try to make them somewhat scary. This game gives them long arms and red eyes, pretty much. But what does it matter? The target audience for this is children. But, wait a minute, how did we get here? Which is a good question because horror used to be something that was enjoyed by older audiences because in order to freak someone out, it normally involves more mature themes. Now, why is it the case that children are now the target audience for horror games? Well, the answer is really that I could just straight up blame YouTube for it. I mean, think about it. What were children mainly watching in the early 2000s to still to this day? YouTube Let's Players. And what was really popular? Horror games. Kids got exposed more and more to horror games and therefore into the genre. So therefore, people who made games wanted to hop onto this train as soon as possible. Therefore, more people would play them, and therefore more children would see them. So anyway, that was my opinion on horror as of now. I understand that, yeah, it is declining a little bit because of, children. But it's not directly their fault. It's more people just trying to make something that will, appease them. So at the end of the day, I don't think horror will decline completely. With that said, thanks for watching this crappy video. Seriously, I didn't think I'd finish it. You could probably tell that it got a little better as time went on because I've been working on this one for a while. The main problem with it was that I worked on this video bit by bit instead of really planning it more. but I do promise to work better on my future videos if I choose to actually make any. So, thanks for watching this.